Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. KMT here. Hope everybody's doing good. Well, so yeah, how was everybody's day? Mine was good. Not too much going on, I guess. Um, it's very sunny today. And it has been for the past couple of days, which is very unusual, but I like it. Still having still have some type of like allergies or whatnot, but let's get to it. Let me not bore you to death. But so today I'm gonna change this up a little bit. So we're gonna be doing kind of like a podcast like vibe today. So bear with me if you guys are not into that. But so today's topic is about dating, pre-date. That's what I would like to call it. So um, I just kind of I'm gonna have like, or at least I'm gonna list a few questions in terms of like what I think you need to know amongst yourselves in terms of like if you're even ready to put yourself out there to date anybody, whether male or female. So and then we can talk about it. And then if you guys have any type of questions, we can sort of like talk about it. Make use of the chat box, and yeah, we gonna get into it. 1 second. What is that thing? Yeah. So let's get started. So the first question I want to ask anybody who's even trying to put themselves out there is, why do you want to date? Like, I guess, why do I want to date? So I feel like that's like the number one question you should even just ask yourself in terms of like, why do you want to give up your peace, your solidarity to even open up to something new or new? Because, and also depending on like where you are in life, you are more, you maybe, if you like, of age to, want children or whatnot, of course, you want to settle down, find your soulmate, if you guys believe in soulmates, and proceed to like build children, of course, in a traditional um, family or from a nuclear family type of thing. But I think the first question is to ask, why do you want to like just do that? Because mind you, you don't want anybody to be put in the wrong situation in terms of like intentionality. Intentionality is a big thing, especially with this generation, because everybody when they're out here looking for dating, they're not really looking for dating. All this dating has several forms. Can be nowadays you get the whole hookup culture. You get a lot of people they date just to carelessly date or casually date. Then you have people who maybe want some type of like companionship or validation from somebody, or just they maybe want to, or they maybe want to experience some form of like curiosity, or they just curious. So I think it's essential to just ask your question, why do I want to be put in a situation where now you're not only thinking about you, but you're also thinking about the other person. And mind, there's a lot of sacrifices that you have to take. So much you just put yourself in that mindset that hey, everything from now on that I'm willing to do or that I will do is not just gonna be just about me, but also about the other person. So yeah, and of course, it kind of helps clear just expectations that you may have for you and for you and your partner, because when you know the why, you're more likely to communicate earnestly and honestly with your significant other, which is very attractive in terms of like of relationship. So, because mind you, you guys are a unit. So the next question will be, it's kind of like transitional to the why, but also am I comfortable with being alone? Like, there are a lot of people that are very that consider like themselves and just solidarity as a form of like peace because it doesn't bring any type of like chaos which relationships are susceptible to just because of like um a lot of like conflict can occur, so it might damage just one person's mind and the other, and also there's just too much imbalance that may happen, especially if you guys don't align in places where you should align, which I wouldn't even, if you guys can't even align on the most common thing in terms of like just interests or politics or whatever, then I don't know why you're even proceeding unless you guys were never serious about one another from the start. So yeah, it just achieved the basis of like you know where you're at, you at least, or you at least know where you're not at. So it's like at least communicate with yourself first off, and the other person that hey, although you're ready for this, I just feel like I'm not ready for this, just because there's still some things that like that I have to maybe discover about myself, or there are things that like I have to put aside just because I am more selfish than expected, and I'm not ready to change that lifestyle just right now. Because not because mind you, everybody is ready at your own time. Nobody is ready like everybody else. Because mind you, we are all different individuals. We pace ourselves however we feel like we need it. So yeah. Next question is, what are my values and boundaries? Oh yeah, first and well, not first and foremost, but in the beginning, you gotta set out boundaries, and the limits or values. Because mind you, this are gonna be your foundation. Because if you don't have like the sets of boundaries, then a lot of times one person or even both, you guys can work amongst one another very angry. You're always gonna be battling or fighting amongst one another because you value something that he or she may not value, and it's like, where or if can we meet in the middle? If you guys cannot meet in the middle, then it's best that is the reason as to why you're even talking about boundaries or rules. Because mind you, not everybody is gonna limit what they've been doing for years or for however how long just because one person might not like it. Either you deal with it or you do the most respectful thing that you should do and just walk away or leave. Because mind is all about self-respect too. If you feel like what you are asking for is not that much, but then the other person is not willing to um, accept, is not willing to accept like what you are suggesting or even asking for, then like, why are you with this person? If she can't do what you deem is kind of like the basic thing, then mind you, that is going to be a problem along the way. Because if he or she cannot adhere to that, then you're going to be facing more problems because little things tends to develop into bigger things. So this small step is just your warning sign or like the early stage of like red flag that you may see. Mind you, do not ignore red flags. It is not wise to ignore red flags. So if you see that, address it. If it can be changed, it's best to walk away. You can try to talk it out, because mind you, if you feel like she or he might be the one for you, talk it out. Make some type of consensus. But if that doesn't work, the best thing to do, because mind you, the best thing for anybody is to be healthy mentally. So it's like you don't want you don't want you guys to keep battling or whatever for things that could have been solved or could have been avoided by just like walking the other way. Because mind you, not everybody is compatible with the one they might be seeking. Some people are here for seasons, others are here for eternity. So there is that too. The next one that I want to point out is, am I emotionally available right now? So like I said, it's always good to just be honest with yourself. You got to be honest with yourself. I know sometimes that's kind of hard too, just because like you might not know where you stand in terms of like just yourself, but also just only you know yourself. Who knows more? Who knows more than you do about yourself? It's always you. So if you know you're having some type of like conflicting moments or reasoning, it's like you got to talk about it. You got to at least bring it up because you never want to lead somebody because it's going to be chaotic from then on. Because if one person feels like, hey, this person was leading me on, and it's like I know what I wanted. I was honest with the store. The other person wasn't as transparent, and it's like, why are we both wasting our time? What are we trying to do here? We know it's not gonna work. All we're gonna have is just problems, and that is not healthy for any of us. So you gotta be emotionally available. You gotta be emotionally available because it's not just about the physical and everything on the outside, but you gotta align mentally and emotionally. A lot of like just women too, they like for the men to be emotionally secure or mature, just so that like they know that hey, because they have different cycles that they undergo, they want that person just to be there for them, and they don't especially have to say how. Their partner would just know, hey, I gotta do this because I know she's going through this or whatnot, and vice versa too. But yeah, so just know thyself. That's what it essentially comes down to. Next up is what kind of relationship am I actually looking for? Shh. I think this is a really big question. I don't think anybody really knows what type of relationship they want. I think they have an idea of the relationship that they want, but also maybe how they seek it might not be the most intentional or just earnest way. But you got to know what you value. I think that is the most important thing. Know what you value, know what you want your partner to bring or to have, or yeah, those are gonna be something that you some. I mean, you anybody know what they want. Anybody know what they want for themselves. In any case, and it's like everything from there on is just something to discuss about. So because you don't want to have you want to avoid any like mismatched expectations. Um, So if you want something serious, but you have to date someone with the same motive as you, same same interest as you, because knowing what you want makes it just easier to find your soulmate, so to say, if you guys believe in that. And yeah, because at the end of the day, it's all about intentional choices. So if you know you want a woman they're like, hey, she has to be built a certain type of way. Why are you looking at other women that are not built the same type of way that you want? But then again, there are some people that like that you're gonna see that are gonna have some specific traits. Maybe it's one of the traits, but not all of the traits that you're looking for. Because mind you, nobody is perfect. You're not always gonna find that perfect girl in one go. So it's like either work with what you have or just lead the other way or wait because there are people that are here waiting for their perfect match just because they're waiting for the sign because a lot of times if you're looking for something or someone you're not gonna find it. They always typically come, I won't say by accident, but there's definitely some type of uh, sign whatever they do choose to show us. Next one that I feel like is important is, do I know how to communicate? I cannot stress this enough. Everybody have their own communicative styles. It's crazy, but that is the truth. Um, um, so you have to know. You have to work with the other person because not everybody is you. So communicating is the essence or the foundation of any relationship because without it you can't have the transparency, the honesty, the earnesty. You have to talk, you have to talk, you have to communicate. you have to know how to express yourself in a way that is first off respectful, because mind you, a lot of relationships value respectfulness. You don't want to sit here and start screaming at your partner just because hey, he or she didn't do something that you wanted, to get done. It's like nobody's a child. And I see a lot of this happening where a person might like hate the other because like hey, um, they didn't do what you asked to do correctly, and it's like why are we first start using violence? Violence is another like communication style. Like I said, everybody got different communication style, but it's up to you to, uh, if you truly are invested in this person, it's up to you to develop a healthy habit of communicating, which would be essential to the success of your healthy relationship. That is important, in my opinion, though. I'm just yeah. How do I handle conflict or rejection? First and foremost, everybody goes through rejection. I'm saying nobody, there is no perfect man out here that has not been rejected. Everybody has gone through rejection at least once. So I say do not fear rejection. If you're in the mindset of like, hey, I know she's out of my league, he's out of my league, I don't know, do I need to improve this, my hair, my eyes, my whatever. All those are what you call insecurities. Like indulge in insecurities. I mean, I'm not saying you shouldn't have insecurities, but if you're gonna have insecurities, have it. But don't let your insecurities define the type of guy that you want, that you're looking for. And it's like some people might have like higher standards, but it's like sometimes you just gotta like bring it down a notch, just because you're looking for the perfect beat. There is no perfect beat. There might be a perfect guy for you, but it's like you are just overshadowing that perfect guy that might be for you with somebody else that you hold more high, uh, highly regarded. So yeah, so just follow through, because mine is also the same as like disagreements. You guys can disagree, but that's a respectful way to disagree. Never just say, hey, you are wrong. I know I'm right. It's like come to a conclusion amicably, right? So just make sure that the other person feels heard. Make sure you're here listening. And mind you, there's a difference between hearing and listening. Most of the time, a lot of people they hear stuff, but they don't listen to stuff. So it's like hearing and listening to different things. It will help the success of you guys' relationship if you are here listening to them. Listening in terms of like, hey, registering like what they are saying, right? And then thinking of ways are like, hey, how we can work on this, especially in this type of like disagreements. You want to always make sure that like you guys are 100% invested in one another, and that includes listening to the suggestions or anything that he or she has to say, and it's very important, very important. So yeah, and then finally is am I doing this for myself or because I feel pressured? I know with social media, friends, or like age expectations, we are also susceptible to that first. We are also susceptible to those different type of outlets in society. So it's like sometimes you might be thinking if I'm really just doing this because I want to, I have to, or just I might as well. And I think those are all like those are not wrong feelings to have, because I think the society is just with everything going on, we're always gonna be doubting ourselves. So I think if you're gonna doubt ourselves anyway, just uh, proceed with your I won't say undecisiveness, because I don't think it's accurate to label the to just like the way you're feeling or thinking as undecisiveness, because you know what you want. You know you at least want somebody else, but you just don't know if it's caused because of like peer pressure or whatnot. But I think follow through what you start. If you're gonna start something, at least make it to the finish line. So even if you didn't have the best intentions in the beginning, you should convert that to the best intention that it can be. Because mind you, uh, we are not meant to be alone. We are not meant to be alone. Just make sure, even if you're doing it for yourself, at least communicate that. Communicate. I don't think that's going to lead anyway if you communicate that, hey, I am with you because of myself. I don't know. That's very narcissistical. That's a word. But just, it's always easier to just like let things air out, just talking about it or whatever. So at least the other person can talk to you. And who knows? You guys can come with some type of like compromise or resolution amongst amongst each other, which should be healthy for the both of you guys. So yeah, so I think those are the questions that I would say that I will ask before even just dating or putting myself out there, just because I feel like they're kind of important, especially to like knowing yourself, yeah, your daily habits, what you can compromise, or yeah, I won't say give up because you don't have to give up on anything, but yeah, so just this is to consider in my opinion. I'm in my early 20s, so I'm just from what I've observed, it's kind of like the question is that I would pose myself at the point. So yeah, well, thank you guys, and hope to see you guys. Thank you.